Hello my dear children, I am Rathod Khushbu from Param Guru Pathshala Shankul Sarsa. In this video, we will study chapter number 1 of class 7 and the topic of the day is 3 questions. This story it is taken from Honeycomb book. Dear children, in this video you will learn only the explanation of the chapter. So this is the part 1 of the video. Second part you will get it later on. 3 Questions is a story by Leo Tolstoy. This is a very good story with the moral message. So watch this video till the end. The chapter is about 3 questions that are asked by the king to his kingdom people. So let's see what the chapter want to say. In this module, you will understand the story 3 questions and learn the meaning of some new words with their pronunciation. So let's see some new words. First is counselor. It means a member of council. Second is hermit. It means a person living in solitude as a religious, like a saint. Avail, that means help or benefit. Next is seize, that means take eagerly, take excitedly. Let's start our chapter. A king has 3 questions and he is seeking answers them. What are the questions? Does the king get what he wants? The thought came to certain king that he would never fail if he knew 3 things. These 3 things were: what is the right time to begin something? Which people should he listen to? And what is the most important thing for him to do? Now these are the 3 questions of the king. He wanted to know the answers from his kingdom people. The king therefore sent messengers throughout his kingdom, promising a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these 3 questions. So the king wanted these answers, that's why he sent his messenger to his kingdom and passed one message that if anyone would give the answer, he will rewarded a large sum of money. Many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. All the wise men, clever men, came to his kingdom and answered differently. In reply to the first question, what is the first question? That what is the right time to begin something? That means what is the correct time to begin something, to start something new? So in that answer, someone replied, the king must prepare a timetable and then follow it strictly. So someone suggested that a king should prepare a timetable and he should follow strictly that timetable. Only then, in this way, a king could do at its proper time. Others said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for doing something. The king should notice all that was going on. Some wise men said that a king should decide in advance for doing something. So the king was noticing all that going on in the kingdom. He was always do whatever seemed necessary at that time. Yet others said that the king needed a council of wise men who would help him act at the proper time. This was because one man would find it impossible to decide correctly without help from other the right time for every action. Other people said that king must needed a council or a wise man who help him to act at the proper time. But then others said that there were some things which could be urgent. These things could not wait for the decision of the council. In order to decide the right time for doing something, it is necessary to look into the future, and only magician could do that. The king therefore would have to go to magician. So here others said that if there is any urgent work, king should not have to wait for the council, but he should look into the future, and for that he would have to go to the magician. In their answer to the second question, some said that the people most necessary to the king were his counselor. Others said the priests. A few others chose the doctor, and yet others said that his soldiers were the most necessary person. The second question, that to whom he has to listen. In the second answer, the king, there were some different suggestions got about counselors, doctors, and soldiers. To the third question, some said science, others chose fighting, and yet other religious worship. To the third answer, again they discussed about science, fighting, and religious worship. As the answer to his question were so different, the king was not satisfied and gave no reward. Instead, he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit who was widely known for his wisdom. Now, the king did not satisfied with all wise men's answer, and he decided to take advice of certain hermit who is known for his cleverness. The hermit lived in a wood which he never left. He saw no one but simple people, and so the king put on ordinary clothes. Before he reached the hermit's hut, the king left his horse with his bodyguard and went on alone. Here, the hermit lived in a small forest which he never left. To meet that hermit, the king had to put on ordinary clothes and become a simple man. Before reaching to his hut, he left his hut with his bodyguard and walked alone. As the king came near the hermit's hut, he saw the hermit digging the ground in front of his hut. He greeted the king and continued digging. The hermit was old and weak, and as he worked, he breathed heavily. He smiled at the king and continued to doing his work. He was old and weak, and as he was working, he was breathing heavily. The king went up to the hermit and said, "I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer 3 questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right moment? Who are the people I need most? And what affairs are the most important?" The king said to him that I come here to know the answers of my 3 questions. The hermit did not speak anything. The hermit listened to the king but did not speak. He went on digging. "You are tired," said the king. "Let me take the spade and work in your place." The hermit did not speak anything. After some time, the king said that let me help you and do your work. You take rest, I will do this work. "Thanks," said the hermit, giving the king his spade. Then he sat down on the ground. He handed over that spade to the king and sat down on the ground. When the king had dug 2 beds, he stopped and repeated his questions. The hermit gave no answer but stood up, stretching out his hand for the spade, and said, "Now you rest and let me work." So as the king was started to digging the ground, after two beds of dug, he asked again to the hermit that I come here to know my answer. So the hermit again he did not reply anything. He stood up and take back that spade and said, "Now you take rest, let me do my work." But the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. But king said, No, I will do. You sit down." 1 hour passed, then another. That means 2 hours passed. 1 hour and another. The sun went down behind the trees, and at last the king stuck the spade into the ground and said, "I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me no answer, tell me so, and I will return my home." So after digging the ground, after doing hard work, now the king little bit become angry. It now time passed and it is the evening. So he stuck that spade on the ground and said, "Wise man, I come here to know my answers. But if you can't give me answer, then tell me, I can return my home." "Here comes someone running," said the hermit. When the king was talking with hermit, when he was asking for the help to get the answers, hermit said that, "Look, someone is running." The king turned round and saw a bearded man running towards them. When hermit said that, "Look, someone is running towards us," the king turned back and round, saw a bearded man running towards them. His hands were pressed against his stomach, from which blood was flowing. So the man was injured. When he was running towards them, hermit and the king found that the man, he was injured in his stomach. His hand was pressed against his stomach, and the blood was flowing from his stomach. When he reached the king, he fainted and fell to the ground. The king and the hermit removed the man's clothing and found a large wound in his stomach. When the bearded man, came near to the king, he fainted and fell down on the ground. The man was injured in his stomach. The king and the hermit both removed man's clothing. At that time they found a large wound in his stomach. The king washed and covered it with his handkerchief, but the blood would not stop flowing. The king, what he did, he washed and covered with his own handkerchief, but still the blood did not stop to flowing. The king redressed the wound until at last the bleeding stopped. Until the bleeding not stopped, the king again dressed that wound. The man felt better and asked for something to drink. The king brought fresh water and gave it to him. Now, after some time, the man felt better and asked for something to drink. The king brought fresh water and gave it to him. By this time, the sun had set and air was cool. Now, sun set. Now it is the night, and the king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. Now at night time, so the king was not able to return to his palace. Taking the help of hermit, king and hermit both carried to that wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. The man closed his eyes and lay quiet. Very silently he closed his eyes and slept. The king, tired by his walk and the work he had done, lay down on the floor and slept through the night. The king was also very tired, that as he worked very hard throughout the day, he dug the ground and he walked also. That's why he felt tired and he also slept. When he awoke, it was several minutes before he could remember where he was or who the strange bearded man lying on the bed was. Now when next morning he wake up in the morning, first of all he was thinking that what exactly happened. Who is this man? Who is this bearded man lying on the bed and what happened? Forgive me, said the bearded man in a weak voice when he saw that the king was awake. So as the king wake up, the bearded man said that please forgive me. So the man said that you do not know me, but I know you. I am one of your enemy who swear to take revenge on you because you put my brother to death and seized my property. Why he became enemy of the king and why he wanted to take revenge from the king? Because king had put his brother to death and seized his brother's property. I knew you had gone alone to see that hermit. When I have found that you are going to visit hermit alone, so I made up my mind to kill you on your way home. So at that time I made up my mind. That means I plan to kill you. When you are going back to your home, I will kill you. But the day passed and you did not return. The man hid at some place and waiting for the king. When the king come and he killed. But the whole day passed and the king did not return. So he said that I left my hiding place and come upon your bodyguard who recognized me and wounded me. So I left my hiding place and to look after you. But at that time your bodyguard found me, recognized me and they tried to wounded me. They tried to harm me. I escaped from him, but I should have died if you had not dressed my wound. What he said that I escaped from him, but just because of you, I am alive. If you have not helped me yesterday, today maybe I died. I wished to kill you and you have saved my life. He had planning to kill the king, but here the king had saved the man's life. So he became feeling so sorry. He wished to kill, but here the king saved his life. Now if I alive, I will serve you as your most faithful servant. So he said that if you have not shown your politeness on my weakness yesterday, and if you have not dug these beds for me, then you would have gone away and that man have attacked you and you would have wished you had stayed with me. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds. So the hermit explaining that what is the most important time for the king. at the particular time, the same time when you are doing something, that is the most important time for you. And I was the most important man, and to do me good was your most important business. So what, to whom he has to listen? Second question, to what he said, that I am the most important person on that moment, and to do help me, that was your most important business. Afterwards, when the man ran to us, the most important time was when you were caring for him. So what was the most important time? When the wounded man come, at that time the king helped him. He shown his politeness to the man, and that's why, as the way he was caring to him, that was the most important time. Because if you had not dressed his wound, he would have died without having made peace with you. So he was the most important man, and what you did for him was your most important business. So the man who is with you at the most important person at that moment. Remember then, there is only one time that is important, and that time is now. So the hermit said that most important time is now, present. It is the most important time because it is the only time we have any power to act. That is the only time that we can do something. The most necessary person is the person you are with at a particular moment. At the particular moment, who is with you? That's the most important person. For no one knows what will happen in the future and whether we will meet anyone else. The most important business is to do that person good, because we were sent into this world for that purpose alone. So what the hermit said, that the most important time is your present now, whatever you are doing at the most important time. Then who is the most important person at that particular moment? Who is with you? That is the most important person. And for that person, what you are doing, what you are helping, that is the most important business in your life. So like this, the hermit answered his questions wisely. So it is the story of Leo Tolstoy. I hope, children, you understand the story well. The next part of this video, you will get it soon. Thank you, my dear children.